Shout out to Caressa Midnight for sending me this story. Now, this is a person that rarely gets talked about when it comes to the whole Central Park 5 situation. We've talked about what's her face? I already forgot the chick's name already because that's how much I have a disdain towards her. Linda Fairstein, or Linda Unfairstein, as people have come to call her, and it's probably the best name suited for her. And she recently got dropped by her publisher. I say good, but that's not enough of a punishment. She deserves way more for what she did, and so does this woman I'm gonna talk about right here. This is Elizabeth Lederer. She was the one. If you watch the movie, she was the one who was on the prosecution side, who was prepared to sentence these boys to, well, not so much be the one to sentence, but she was the one that was about to, go against them, against the defense. And she was the one that went back and talked to Linda Fairstein and said that there's no way that this is going to work because the DNA pretty much cleared the boys of wrongdoing. And now, so when Linda was telling her that to find any way that you can to send them to jail because they've come so far in their little scheme. She was the one that Corey Wise had snapped on in court when he said you lied or you lied on me and everything like that. It's because of her that he went to jail. And he, of course, he got the harshest time. Like, he got sentenced to one of the maximum security prisons. And, he just went through a lot. Like, that part 4, I can't get it out of my head. But that's the role she played in that. She was like one of the a huge orchestrator in this that rarely gets talked about. And I can't even really find any pictures of her as of recent, but if this is how she looked back then, I can only imagine how filthy she looks today. But anyway, the reason why I'm doing this story is because this recent news piece came out where it says that a Central Park 5 prosecutor, Elizabeth Lederer, resigns as Columbia law professor after black student protest. Manhattan Assistant District Attorney Elizabeth Lederer, a prosecutor in the overturned Central Park 5 conviction, resigned Wednesday from Columbia Law School, where she served as a part-time professor after a group of black students called on her to quit. Now, the fact that she was able to still remain in her job years after these guys have been exonerated, which was back in 2002, knowing she had a role in that, says a lot. But then again, it says a lot too as far as Linda Fairstein. This miniseries right here exposed a lot of people. Linda Fairstein, then you had that cop that just recently died, who was a part of it as well. I'm cueing the violins in my head. And now you have this chick who has been made to resign. But I think she deserves way more as well. Like, resigning, losing publishing. I think the best one out of the whole deal is the one that died. In my opinion, it took too damn long. But let me continue. Controversy over the conviction of the men has been reignited after the release of a fictionalized version of events called When They See Us, airing on Netflix. The miniseries has reignited a painful and vital national conversation about race, identity, and criminal justice. I am deeply committed to fostering a learning environment that furthers this important and ongoing dialogue, one that draws upon the community and actively confronts the most difficult issues of our time, Dean Gillian Lester told Bloomberg News. The Black Law Students Association, calling Lederer's actions racist, demanded on Tuesday that the administration dump her from the faculty where she serves as a lecturer in law. They also want the Columbia Law School to revamp its curriculum to battle what they call institutionalized racism in the legal system. Columbia Law School should fire Elizabeth Lederer, but that is just a start. The school needs to address the racism in how the law is taught. They claim thousands of Columbia students have signed petitions demanding the firing of Lederer. Lederer is taking new heat after the release of a blockbuster new Netflix documentary about the wrongful conviction of 5 young black men for a 1989 attack on a white jogger in the park. She was the main prosecutor on the case, along with Linda Fairstein, who is now a fiction writer. She deserves way more than just having to resign, just like Linda Fairstein deserves more than just losing her publishing, because she can still, I guess you can say, make money off her books, I guess, if anybody chooses to buy them. And now you have Linda Fairstein on the campaign hunt trying to tell people that Ava DuVernay lied and put a bunch of fallacies into the miniseries to try to incriminate her. Well, Linda Fairstein, you did do those things. It's documented proof that you did. What they need to do is reopen every case that Linda Fairstein has ever done before and after that case. And they need to also open all of her cases as well and find what loopholes was put in there. And if they want to, overturn them all or toss them all out. Because you can't trust anything that these two women were a part of. Remember, there is even a little statement out there. I guess I can say it's just out there. But white women literally tried their hardest, in some cases succeed, in out white supremacing their men. After all, they give birth to them. And the thing is, in the movie, Elizabeth Lederer knew what she did was wrong. She even tried to go back and forth whether she should or she should have not, do what she's about to do, but she did it anyway. She did it anyway. If you watch part 2, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Well, if you watch the whole thing, you'll know what I mean. But part 2 in particular, because that was the trial portion of the series. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I will talk to you in the next one.